Hi, everyone. It's time for our chair stretch class. And I want to remind you that you only need two things to participate in this class. The first is a chair. I will show you something like this that's straight back, no arms, and that you can move freely in. And the other is water, a water bottle, a glass of water, whatever you prefer. So have that on hand because you want to stay hydrated during the class. All right, let's get started. Get some music going here. We're just going to take it easy and start out with a nice big breath. Bring your arms up and down. I'm going to just turn the music down a little bit. And another nice breath. And we're just going to start with a little bit of dynamic stretch. So get your feet apart and just bend your knees and sway back and forth. Nothing too energetic. We're just warming up, getting our muscles accustomed to the idea of moving and holding here. Bring those feet together, bring your arms out, palms up, and just tilt forward just a little bit. And come back and reach out and tilt back. We're not going very far. You want to be very careful of your balance. And back over. And forward. And stepping out again. Bring your arms down. Both of them in a figure 8. And then just the one. Nice figure 8s, and you're floating back and forth on your knees. And then we're going to reach with both hands and pull back. And reach and pull. One more time, reach and pull. Now I want you to reach with one arm, and as you pull back, lift your hip, straighten the front leg, bend the back, and you'll feel an inner thigh stretch. And do it again. Reach with one arm and come back. Be sure to lift that hip. And then bring these arms around. Just some nice circles, a gentle knee bend, not a big deal. And back to our figure 8s with both arms. And then just transition to the one arm. Loosening up your shoulders, and then reach with both hands and pull. And reach and pull. One more time. Reach and pull. And now reach with one arm, and as you pull back again, same thing. Bend the back leg, straighten the front leg. Feel that beautiful inner thigh stretch. Reach forward. Flexible and strong inner thighs are a big component to good posture and good balance. And then let's just come here and grab a breath and bring our feet together. All right. So you want to be in front of your chair. You want to be able to always, when you're standing, know where your chair is. Feel it with the back of your legs. Because when you sit down, you want to make sure it's there and you're safe. All right. So standing here, think of your foot as a tripod. Pinky toe, big toe, heel. And you want to stand nice and securely on all 3 of those points. Check out your knees. They should be soft, which means they're not bent like this, and they're not locked back like that. They're just in between. So they should feel a little bit bouncy and soft. Moving up, your tailbone is pointing directly to the floor. Taking a breath and roll those shoulders back and down. Lifting up your chin. It's parallel to the floor, but you're lengthening your neck and feeling your spine stretch out in a nice, long stretch. And knowing where that chair is, feeling with your legs, just come down and have a seat. And once you get here, sit toward the front of your chair, not too far back. I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit. All right, so we're sitting in our chair, feet in front of us. We're going to do some upper body stretches for a start. I'm going to turn my chair a little bit sideways so that you can see the position. We're going to start with an airplane, and this is a straight back, hinging from the hips. We don't bend at the waist like this. We're going to lean forward. So sitting here, as you inhale, bring your hands back. Palms are facing one another. And on the exhale, lift out of your pelvis and stretch forward. So you're reaching back, turn your palms down to the floor, stretch your neck out. It's straight out from your shoulders. You're acting just like an airplane, a jet. We're about to take off. And we're going to try to hold most of our stretches for about 10 seconds. Ideally, if you have time and you're stretching when you're at home, you can hold them up to 30 seconds. And coming back in count of 2, 1, and on an exhale, come back. And just hold it here. Make sure your arms are nice and loose. And taking in another breath. And as you exhale, bring your torso forward and your hands back. Again, extending your neck. You're trying to increase the space between each of your vertebrae, making your spine more flexible. Coming up in 3, 2, 1, and exhale up. And now we're going to twist to the side, so I'll turn around again. You're sitting with your feet nice and flat, still trying to envision that tripod with your entire foot as much on the floor as possible. You want to come straight up from your feet, 90 degrees at the ankles to straight lower legs, 90 degrees at the knees, so that your upper legs are parallel to the floor, and then 90 degrees at the hip, bringing your torso straight up. And so now we're going to bring our arms down, taking a nice breath. And as you exhale, start to slide down one side and bringing this other arm up. It can go up over your head in a nice big arc if that move is available to you. If not, you can put your hand on your shoulder, or you can leave it all the way down here. If you have some shoulder issues that cause you to have pain when you raise that arm, it's better to modify the move than to experience pain. When we're stretching, we want to feel the stretch, but it should not hurt. So holding it here for 2, 1, and exhaling up. Always try to make your move on an exhale. And then when you're in the stretch, of course, breathe nice and normally. Never hold your breath. So going the other way, inhaling And on the exhale, bringing your arm up again over your head if that move is available to you. Important thing here is that both sides of your bottom are firmly on the chair. You're reaching with those fingertips for the floor. This arm is wherever it's comfortable for you. Keep breathing in and out. Holding it here, feeling those ribs open up, increasing the space between them, stretching those little tiny muscles between our ribs. Holding for 2, 1, and exhale up. And because the second stretch is almost always better, we're going to do exactly the same thing again on the first side. So inhale and bring it up, down, and arm up. So you're reaching for the floor, you're sitting tall. You haven't allowed your body to collapse. Both sides of your bottom are on the chair. Breathing while you're here. Holding it here. Coming up in 3, 2, 1, and exhale back to neutral. And take just 1 or 2 resting breaths, and then we'll go to the other side. So taking in a breath and exhale down. Reaching for the floor. Breathing. Holding it here. This should feel really good. Like you're stretching out these parts of your body that often get neglected. Doing these kinds of stretches will increase your flexibility if you do them regularly. It can't be once. It doesn't work that way, I'm sorry to say. So coming up in 2, 1, and exhaling back to neutral. So just give a bit of a shake, working out any kinks. And so now what we're going to do is twist to the side. We'll go to this side first. So make sure you're nice and solidly seated on your chair, but that most of your upper leg is free from being constricted by the chair. So taking a breath, and on the exhale, just gently turn from the hips all the way around. Now you can use the chair as an anchor. You can place your hand wherever you land, holding onto the chair to hold you in position. You can take this front hand and press against your outer leg, and that will also help you hold a nice stretched position. And breathing. Nice deep breaths, nice and rhythmic. Holding for 2, 1, and exhaling back around, releasing the chair, releasing your hold, and coming back to neutral. On the next exhale, let's go to the other side. Coming around, anchoring with your hand wherever it lands on the chair. Challenging yourself to reach just a little bit further. You can press against that outer leg with your front arm, keeping your chin nice and level. And breathing. Holding for 2, 1, and exhale back to neutral. And coming down. And now this time, if you want additional stretch, you can move 1 foot more to the center, cross the other leg here or here. It depends on what's comfortable for you. And by doing that, you'll allow your body to twist a little bit more. It's perfectly all right to stay here in our original position. So you decide. Always work at your own pace within your own limits. So taking in a breath and again pressing that front hand against the outer leg. Making sure that you're holding the position, you're not straining your neck. It should be looking out a little bit behind you, but never to a point where it hurts. Staying in position for 3, 2, 1, and exhale back around. And unwind those feet if they are, or legs if you're crossed. And for the other direction, same thing, move that standing leg closer to the center, cross the other over here or here, whichever you prefer. Inhale, and on the exhale, just move around. Try to look a little bit behind you. Breathing nice and evenly. Holding here. Holding for 2, 1, and exhaling back around. And unwind those legs. So just roll your shoulders nice and deep and forward. So our upper body should feel nice and loose at this point. So let's move on to our lower body. We're going to remain seated. We're going to go back to our 90-degree position. Feet, ankles, legs, everything is nice and square. So we're going to start by bringing 1 foot on top of the other. Make sure you're near the edge of your chair so that this leg can fall open. Do not allow this leg to fall. This one needs to stay nice and tall at 90 degrees. So you're here, you're taking in a breath, and as you lift up, exhale forward and just rest anywhere. You can rest on this thigh or on this inner thigh, but never on a joint. So don't press against your knee. Just hold this stretch here. Breathing the whole time. Trying to consciously relax your hip so that this leg can fall open and you can stretch that inner thigh. Holding for 2, 1, and exhale up. Come back to neutral. And we'll do that stretch again. You can do it in the same position, or if you want a deeper stretch, you can bring this leg up here. Sit nice and tall. Allow your hip to relax so that this leg can fall open. Inhale. And as you exhale again, lift out of your hips and come forward. Now, if you rest on this inner thigh with your arm, like I'm doing, you're going to increase the stretch. Important thing is that you talk to your hip and tell it to relax. It will fight you to stay tight. But if you can relax it at all, it will really help the stretch. If this causes you pain, back off a little bit, coming higher, so you find the sweet spot for you. Holding for 2, 1, and exhale up. Pause for a moment, and then intertwine your fingers below the knee and bring this leg in. Squeeze it in, and then release it and make circles with that knee. So you're rotating that long bone of your upper leg in the socket of your hip. Then change directions and hold it here. And now rotate your ankle. That always feels so good. Something we don't do often enough. Point and flex, point and flex. And then release that leg, sliding your hands underneath your thigh and bring it straight out. And now windshield wiper that foot back and forth. And now making sure you're solid on your chair, open and close, open and close. Hold for 3 times and then up and down. One more. Up and down, and then just bend that knee and place your foot back on the floor. That leg and hip should feel really good after that stretch. So turning to the other side, pick up this foot against your ankle. Keep this standing leg nice and firm, nice and square. Inhale, lifting up out of your hips, and exhale forward and resting here on your inner thigh if you wish, talking to that hip, telling it to relax, to allow your body to stretch. Keeping your torso straight out, not hunching over. And of course, breathing. Holding for 2, 1, and exhale up. Remaining in this position if you wish, or bringing this leg up on top of the other thigh. And breathing in and out. On the next exhale, lift out of your hips and bring your torso straight forward. Again, telling that hip to relax, resting your forearm on the inner thigh if you wish. That's just for additional stretch. If that does not feel good to you, if you experience pain, please don't do it. And breathe, keeping that hip relaxed. And holding for 3, 2, 1, and exhaling up. And reaching those fingers intertwined around that leg, pulling that leg in, tight to your body, releasing it, and then making circles of that femur in the hip socket. And then the other direction. And holding it here, and now working that ankle, rotating it around, other way, and point and flex, and then releasing, holding your leg out straight. It can be down here, it should not be above parallel, and then open and close, open and close, open and pause here, and let's do a little windshield wiper for that ankle. And then we're going to go up and down, just 3 times. And here's the last one. Bring it down, bend that knee, and place it back on the floor. All right, those hips should feel really, really good. Let's turn to the side of our chair now and bring this knee down. You can keep your foot like mine is, where you're on your toe, or you can flatten the foot. You can experiment and see which is more comfortable and which feels more stable for you. It may have to do with the condition of your ankle joint. So go ahead and take a nice deep breath, facing sideways. Inhale and then exhale forward. Hinging again from the hips, reaching as far out there as you can. And on the exhale, bring it back. Keeping the arm up if that feels good to you. Important thing here is that you tighten up your glutes, because that will push your pelvis forward and stretch your hip flexor and your quadricep. Holding here and coming up straight. Taking a nice breath and then reaching. And on the exhale, again, bring it back. I'm going to bring my arm down, but if that feels good to you to have it up, it can give you an added stretch in your upper torso. Squeeze those glutes. And coming up in 2, 1, and coming straight up. And now taking a nice breath. And on the exhale, turn to the back of your chair. You're sitting tall, and you're giving your spine a wonderful massage, a nice little twist. Holding for 2, 1, and exhale around. Your feet are wide. Get nice and solid on your chair. Taking a breath and keeping your hands in contact with your legs. Come forward just 45 degrees. If you want a deeper stretch in your inner thigh, turn your heels more to the front. And holding this, you're looking at the floor. You don't want to strain your neck. And breathe. Holding for 3, 2, 1, and exhale up. And then turn to the other side. Drop that knee. Again, you decide on how you want your foot. You can hang onto the back of the chair with your arm in the back. Taking a breath and reach forward. Holding this stretch. And on an exhale, bring it back again, keeping your arm up if that feels good. Everyone squeeze your glutes. Push that pelvis forward and stretch the hip flexor and the quadricep. Holding for 3, 2, 1, and exhale up. And then reach. And bring it back. Again, the arm can go up, but everyone squeeze your glutes. The arm is optional. Holding this. Breathing for 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring it up. And once again, turn back, legs wide. Inhale, shoulders back and down, and slide forward. Again, hinging from the hips. Holding it here, looking at the ground. You're stopping at about 45 degrees. And exhaling up, heel toe your feet in. breath and come down and just roll those shoulders nice and deep, and then bring them forward and holding them here, roll your head back and forth across your chest. Just let that neck be loose. And then looking straight ahead, place your fingertips behind your head. Inhale, and as you exhale, look up, supporting your head with your hands. Never drop your head like this without the support of your hands. You can injure your neck. And releasing it, bringing your hands down, and then touching your chest with your chin. And bringing it up. Let's grab one more nice breath. And just sit back for a moment and just appreciate how good we feel after having stretched. Stretches will work for you to make you more flexible, to make you better balanced if you practice them regularly. So you learned some things today that you can do on your own, but I just caution you to always work within your limits and know how far you can stretch. Stretching works little by little by little. It's not doing it once and you're more flexible. It's a matter of repetition. So thank you for being here today, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.